Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the third round coverage of the 2019 Green Mountain Championships. My name is Gabriel Dow, and I am back on the mic with Bobby Cox.
What's up, everybody?
We are filling in once again for Nate. He was having some band troubles, so he is getting that fixed up. So we are going to be covering these third and fourth rounds. So far in this third round, we do have Sarah Hokm leading the pack, still playing really solid golf. She is sitting at 3 under par. Kristin Tattar, she is sitting at 2 big. We got Hailey King 3 back of her at 5 big, and then Rebecca Cox sitting at 7 big, making some really nice putts there at the last couple holes of the back 9. Paige Pierce is 2 back of Rebecca, so knowing Paige, we could see her make some moves.
That's
here.
A scary person to be on your heels.
Exactly. Yeah, especially on this back 9, we could definitely see Paige Pierce make some moves here.
Oh, yeah.
Getting straight into it, hole 10, this is a par 3. It is 410 feet. As you can see, you have this tunnel right out the gate. You're really just throwing an understable fairway or distance driver, have it flip up to flat and ride down this hill to the basket. You do have a guardian tree on the left side of the basket that comes into play, but as long as you throw something hard and straight, it's going to be down there.
Yeah, surprisingly, this is the 6th most difficult hole out here, playing 3.45 third round. Not really sure how. It seems pretty open, but we'll see how. Whoa, look at that wind. You see that?
Yeah.
That thing rose like crazy. Should be on that right side, maybe about 40 feet out.
Yeah, but it looks like that branch might come into play on that guardian tree on the right side.
Yeah.
So pretty difficult putt for Kristin, for her too. This is Rebecca. And she just got that one a little bit too low again, but she'll still have a look from there.
Yeah, it seems like missing high on putts is kind of a good thing, and then missing low on drives is kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
We got Sarah gonna finesse one down there.
And that is
So
getting
nasty.
a really nice amount of turn. And she is right there.
410
Just inside
feet,
the circle.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, fantastic drive from Sarah.
Casual there.
And Hailey, just barely caught that shrubbery. That looked like it was turning over pretty nicely, but she's going to be on that left side, most likely just laying up for her 3.
Well done.
Well, maybe a little bit deep. She is a fantastic putter, though.
Yeah, it's one of those half goes by Rebecca.
Yeah.
Just kind of toss it up. If it goes in, woohoo. If it doesn't, it's going to drop right next to the basket.
Yep. That's kind of the advantage of having mulch around the green. That's why I like when there's mulch around the green, you know, because like if it drops, it has a lot less likelihood of rolling away because you have all that loose wood that's just sitting there. So
Sarah having to kind of stretch out here and making her putt quite a bit more difficult.
Yeah, and that tree was just barely in her way. She's going to be tapping in for her par. Nothing to complain about with her lead here. She's got 5 strokes on second place, Kristin here. So
Rebecca with a pretty easy par there.
Kristin tapping in for par as well.
Yeah, and it helps that Sarah has all that experience playing high-level disc golf. When she has that lead, she knows how to keep it. She doesn't crumble under the pressure like a lot of young players often do.
Yeah, it's a mindset.
It really is.
But hole 11, this is a par 4. All right, hole 11, this is a par 4. It is 410 feet. It does carry pretty downhill. So it being a par 4, you really just want to play a straight shot and then another straight shot to this green here. As you can see, there's 3 guardian trees, good thick guardian trees really, right in front of the basket that you have to be careful of. But as long as you stay on the fairway on this hole, that's really ideal. I mean, that's really this whole course, honestly.
Just literally like every hole, yeah.
Yep.
This hole averaged 4.82, the fourth most difficult. As you can see why. There's just a great chance of you kicking in a horrible spot, kind of like that.
Yeah, and Kristin's going to be on that left side. That's not going to be an easy spot. She's most likely just laying up.
Yeah, I like this play a lot. Kind of playing the wide turnover shot, getting as much fairway usage as possible, and she still ended up in the rough, and that's about as good of a shot as you can do.
Yep.
No surprise here. Sarah going with that safe forehand hyzer, I'm guessing. Just laces it right down the middle. Stays right in the fairway. Just as good as you can possibly do.
Yeah, that is a amazing shot from Sarah.
Yeah, she's just dialed in right now. You got Hailey trying to do a turnover shot. Kind of gave it a little bit of a grip lock, but fortunately it kicked out back into the open.
Yeah, she's got so much whip on her drive.
She does. She's tiny too.
And Hailey throwing kind of a slight turnover to flex, and she's going to be up the fairway. Looks like she stayed in the center, so she should be able to lay up for her par.
Man, and Rebecca's just looking at 6 to 7 trees right in the middle of her flight, and unfortunately hits one of them.
And Kristin, very unfortunate. She had just an array of trees right in front of her to contend with, so that is just so difficult.
Yeah, and that's why this whole play is so hard, is from being in positions just like this.
Yep. And she is going to continue her battle with the trees on the fairway here. Looks like she might have adjusted on this one.
She's on the right side, but she's at least up there.
Yeah.
Here's Sarah with a wide open look to the basket. Just got to keep a forehand pretty straight.
Didn't quite get it as straight as she wanted, but she'll have a look for her 3.
Yeah. Whew. Rebecca being cautious of that tree. Make sure she doesn't break her hand there.
That is the worst.
We brought that up before, and yeah, you're right. That is the biggest mental battle of all time. Do I actually go for this shot, or do I, not break my
follow
fingers?
through? Yeah. Because if you go full James Conrad on that follow through, you're hitting, you're bruising your hand.
Ouch is what's gonna happen.
Yeah. It's is this worth it for the rest of the round or the rest of the tournament? Really? This is Sarah for her birdie. Lone birdie on the card.
Oh, she wanted that so bad.
Yeah. Just hits the band, but she'll be able to tap in for par, and that's nothing to complain about.
Yeah, that one seemed to drop pretty early there.
Yeah. Looked like she had a tailwind there and just kind of fell on her.
Yeah.
And then Hailey makes good for the par.
Hailey kind of has a Calvin Heimberg putt. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, she kind of has that kind of strict movement with her arms, and it's kind of reducing the variables,
which is a high compliment because Calvin is an incredible putter.
Yeah. Hole 12, this is a par 3. It is 430 feet. It carries very downhill, so plays shorter than that 430 feet. This does carry a little bit left, so you're really just throwing a straight to overstable fairway driver. Just have it flip up flat and then have that nice left finish. As you can see here, we do have Sarah, who is going to be opting for that forehand turnover line. And this is looking pretty nice.
She was get over to the left.
Didn't quite get the turnover that she wanted, but...
Yeah, this hole played 3.27 third round, the 9th most difficult.
And Hailey, this looks like it's fading out a little bit too early.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the easiest mistake to do on this hole, is just kind of get a little bit too much fade. You really just want to go as straight as possible with the natural fade at the end, not really try to get an overstable disc.
Yep. And Rebecca, that needs to get left.
I thought it was going
to... And just get shot down there. It's kind of crazy. You can see that Discraft flag waving behind the tee pad, and for how wooded this course is, it's surprising to see that much wind.
No, for sure.
affecting the flag. So that definitely...
I mean, we've seen at least 3 or 4 putts that probably should have gone in, but the wind just kind of dropped it out of the air.
Yeah. And Kristin looked like she just kind of saw that one off a little bit as well. But Rebecca's in a pretty ideal position to lay up for 3. And, oh, wow. Did that skip off the rock and hit the cage?
Wow.
Wow, that would have been a fantastic 2 from where she was at.
Yeah, and those big rocks can come into play, obviously, like you just saw. Lucky for her, it was kind of like in a good way, but I can totally see a disc just stopping right on one of those boulders and leaving you with like 60 feet.
Yeah, seeing those rocks near the basket is definitely...
That's a little scary.
It's not a good thing if you're a player who is more inclined to playing those skips.
Right.
You know, so you really have to adjust and get it down at the right spot so that way it doesn't hit one of those rocks.
Yeah.
Sarah making good for par. She will stay at 3 under par. Just playing super clean golf all tournament, really.
She really has.
Hole 13, this is a par 4, 555 feet. As you can see, you have a pretty tight gap off the fairway. You really just want to throw something. You can throw either a straight fairway driver with a forehand or a soft turnover with a backhand. But really the most important shot here on this hole is going to be the tee shot, because you ideally want to set yourself up for the most open shot on your second shot, because this gap is just so tight going into the basket. So many guardian trees. So, I mean, this first shot, like I said, is so crucial.
Yeah, this is actually the second hardest hole out here for the third round, playing 5.15, so over a stroke over par. And yeah, that gap up to the basket can be really tricky, especially if you're not in position. I mean, if you're on like that left side and you're trying to hit that gap up to the basket, that's nearly impossible. So we'll have to see how these ladies play it. Sarah's going with the pretty safe hyzer forehand.
And that looks like it's an ideal position. Rebecca looks like she's going to be lining up that soft turnover.
I think she's pretty happy with that, honestly.
Yeah, that's not a bad little kick off the tree. It just kind of bounced up, and she should be in the center of the fairway on that left side there.
Yeah, I like how she's like fully committing to those turnover shots, even in these tight-wooded fairways.
Yeah.
And look at this.
This is... Oh. Yeah, that was just too far. Because it does carry downhill.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't throw it too hard. And that's the trick, really. It's just getting that power right.
Yeah, and Hailey's forehands off the tee have been a little bit high today. We'll have to see where that one landed. It's going to be on that left side a little bit.
Rebecca is going for it here. That slides up there.
Wow.
And she's going to have a look for birdie.
Dude, that was crazy good.
That is a really good turnover shot from Rebecca.
Yeah, and Hailey just keeping that nose up.
Yeah, like you said.
Just kind of airing out on her.
Yep.
And Sarah's in ideal spot. Especially for her forehand.
Trust her disc. And that needs to get right before that tree.
That was almost so good.
Oh, man. That was such good height on that disc.
Yeah, and you can see the troubles from that left side. It's pretty thick over there.
Yeah, she's just laying up to the gap.
Yeah.
Laying out, it's pretty sunny.
Yeah. And I don't even know what Hailey's like looking at right here. I mean, it's just the jungle. So she attempts to get through there, but unfortunately hits another tree, so she'll be trying that again. It looks like Kristin fought up there a little bit.
Here is Sarah for her birdie from distance.
Yeah, that's one of those putts where your accuracy just kind of like goes away and you're just trying to get it there.
Right. But she should be able to make good for the par. Rebecca just a little bit too nose down there.
I mean, she's been online all day. It's just the height has been off a little bit.
Yep.
It looks like Hailey fought through pretty far, and she knocks in the bogey.
Yep. She will move to 7 big.
Here's Sarah for par, I believe. Yeah.
Staying strong there.
And 1 down for the round is so good.
Yeah, 1 down through 13 on this course.
Oh,
just a little bit right side for Kristin. That's uncharacteristic, especially for this round with how she's been feeling with those putts. I mean, she's been hitting
like pole, dead center.
Yeah. And Rebecca, that's a really good par. Okay, hole 14. This is a par 3, 260 feet. Really, the only danger here is going to be these 2 center trees. Really 3 center trees because there's that guardian tree right in front of the basket. You can play that right side and have it hyzer towards the basket, but then we have Sarah here who's opting for the forehand. She might be throwing something a little bit straighter, maybe through that center gap.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, and this is actually the easiest hole played this third round, averaging at 2.73, so it's just under par. And yeah, I don't think she hit the gap. I think she was trying to hit that left gap. Maybe not. Maybe her disc just faded out a bit too early, but either way, she'll be pretty far, probably about 60 maybe.
And Rebecca, this is a nice shot for her with how she's been throwing her disc this round. Just that slight, and that just turns over a little bit too much. But she gets a good amount of slide up and most likely will just be laying up for par. And this is really an ideal shot for Kristin as well. Is. She's been throwing that hyzer flip, and if she can get it on that right side without too much turnover, she should have a pretty good luck here.
Yeah, totally agree there. Looking good so far. I don't want to jinx it.
Oh, yeah. And she is right there. She's so good at that shot.
Yeah, she is, dude.
I mean, I haven't really steadily watched Kristin play, but, I mean, that hyzer flip shot for her is so good. And Hailey,
wow,
with the mid-range, just letting it carry and is right there parked for the tap-in birdie.
She said, let me one-up you right here, Kristin. Boom.
Sarah for the birdie.
Sarah's getting greedy. She wants every birdie there is out here.
Yeah. Should be able to tap in for the par there. And Rebecca, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some metal on this putt.
No, maybe
just a little bit right.
Yeah.
She'll be tapping in for the par. Staying at a big. Kristin with a really nice birdie, moving herself to 4 big.
Yeah, and that putting stroke, as you can see, is just basically perfect.
Yeah. All right, hole 15. This is a par 3, 360 feet, 110 meters. Right off the tee, you have a super tight gap that you need to hit. But once you clear that gap, as long as you have this disc on a good angle to finish left, you will be within putting range. But really, the most difficult part on this hole is going to be the tee shot. Just right off the tee, obviously, as you can see, you have that gap. And just hit that gap, and as long as you have a disc that'll finish left, you'll have a look.
Yeah, I think having that left skip can be pretty beneficial as well. This hole averaged 3.55, the 5th most difficult on this third round, and yeah, this rough is just brutal, basically throughout the whole course. And Hailey's been having some grip lock issues.
Yeah.
Fortunate kick, though.
Yep.
Yeah, and this seems like a really difficult shot for Sarah, being a forehand dominant player, trying to turn this thing all the way over towards the basket. The way she's been playing, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she gets it all the way down there.
But that looks like it's fading out a little bit too early, but looks like she'll be able to pitch up for her 3.
Yeah, it's a good miss there.
Here we got Rebecca, who's similar to Kristin, is really good at those hyzer flips, and this is, it was looking good initially, but didn't quite flip up to flat like she wanted. And Rebecca down there. She should be able to make the par.
Another tricky lie for Hailey, but that one...
That was a really nice shot.
Yeah,
slid
that
up
was really
there.
Nice.
She might have some of those skinny trees to contend with.
I don't think she cares. I think she's very happy with that shot.
Yeah. And that's a great shot as well from Kristin.
Yeah, and that was a really good miss by Sarah, having a fairly easy upshot from there. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Hits the panel there. She'll be tapping in for her par, and this is going to be Rebecca for her par.
So what are your thoughts on elevated baskets? You like them or no?
I like them. I mean, it just kind of adds another thing to putting because, like, you know, you're putting on a regular basket and then a regular basket and then a regular basket, and then you step up to an elevated basket and you have to adjust. And not only do you have to adjust, but you like have to have the mental capacity to like adjust because you're like, okay, this is how I normally putt, but I have to putt it like this time. And so I
mean, I think it's kind of similar to like slopes and like ball golf. You know, it's like you don't have a dead straight putt every time. You got to have some variables to make it difficult. And as long as they're kind of scattered out throughout the course and it's not like every hole's an elevated basket, I'm always down for it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's just that kind of slight switch up that keeps you in check.
Yeah.
All right, hole 16. This is a par 3, 400 feet. This one carries very far right. You really just have to be careful about hyzering out too early because there is a huge bunch of trees on the right side that will just bring you a lot of difficulty if you go too far right. Really just want to throw something nice and hard, maybe flip up to flat that has a nice reliable right finish. I think we'll have a couple of these ladies throw a turnover shot as well.
I'd assume so, yeah. Yeah, this hole averaged 3.23, the 10th most difficult. And look at that action there.
That is really beautiful flight from Kristin.
Yeah, we'll have to see where that ended up, but I can't imagine it's too bad.
Yeah.
It's like that started turning at the perfect time. It got the forward progress that it needed, and then it finally kind of fell over. Sarah throwing this a little bit higher than I think she might want.
Yeah, and we didn't quite get to see that one finish.
Let's see what Rebecca can do.
And that one's just a little bit too low again, but it carries right and just maintains that right carry. And
yeah,
she might have got on a little bit of a slide up.
She put a decent amount of hyzer on that, too. That must have been a pretty flippy disc.
Mm-hmm.
We got Hailey whipping out that forehand. And once again, she can't get that thing low.
Turn that one over. But, yeah, that's really something you have to be good at in the woods is controlling those understable discs, you know. For sure. Because, you know, when you're wide open, you can throw that overstable disc and you can throw a little bit of a flex on it or whatever and throw it at hard, like you said, as hard as you can. But in the woods here, you really have to have that touch to be able to get it on the right angle to where it'll flip up and turn over at that right angle. So, I mean, that just kind of brings into the play the difficulty of this course.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. We got Hailey for, I believe, par. Trying to make something happen, but unfortunately those trees right in front of her kind of got in the way. Should be tapping in for a bogey. And Kristin with 4 or 5 trees in her way.
Yeah, that's a scary putt right there.
I think you just want to get past those. Yeah, she's playing it smart.
Yeah, she's playing the wide hyzer. Just comes around the backside. Hopefully that tree behind the basket isn't in her way on her par save.
Yeah, I know for me, if I'm looking at like a jump putt and there's a decent amount of trees in the way, it's so easy to just, barely misrelease it and just hit an early tree, and then you're facing another, 30, 40 footer.
Exactly.
It's real smart to just take your medicine, lay that thing up, and tap in for your par.
Exactly. And disc selection at that point is important as well. Because, most people have, their understable jump putter, and then they have their more overstable close range putter. And so the disc selection at that point is really crucial. You have to get the right speed on it to get around the trees on that layup. And Kristin taps in for her par, and Hailey taps in the bogey. Hole 17, this is another par 4. It is 530 feet. This one carries straight for about 280 to 300 feet and then moves left. So you really just want to throw something, maybe a fairway driver or distance driver that flips up flat and has a slight left finish. And from there, you have another hyzer into the basket here.
Yeah, this is actually one of the easier holes out here. It was 15th most difficult, averaging 4.05, and I'm assuming that's just because the fairway is actually just wide open. A lot of these fairways have trees still in them. This one, if you just get in the fairway, it's just wide open for you with a little bit of backstop behind the basket as well.
Yep. And Kristin's actually going to be in a difficult spot there because she ended up behind that bunch of the trees on the right side, so she'll have a pretty awkward angle to the basket. And Sarah, this is
oh my god!
Yeah, this is a really nicely shaped fairway for her style of throw, and she is gonna be right there in the open. She should have a pretty easy layup for her birdie, really.
Dude, she is driving it so well. I mean, obviously she's putting well too. That's why she's in the lead over here by 7 strokes. But I mean, she's making it really easy for herself.
Mm-hmm. Rebecca with a nice shot as well. She's gonna be right there in the open, and she should have a nice little hyzer line to the basket from there as well.
Here we got Hailey. Putting a little bit too much ante on it, but that's still going to be in a decent spot.
Yeah, it looks like it might have skipped off that little hill on the right side back into the fairway. Here is Sarah. She was a little bit more pinched off than I thought she was. And that took a pretty massive skip as well. Hopefully she's not in too difficult of a spot from there. Here's Kristin. Needs to kind of ride that left side of the tree line. Still a very difficult shot. Yeah, it looked like she touched the mulch there. Yeah. So she should have a look for her birdie. Here's Hailey from a little bit farther back. And she's been hitting a lot of trees on her approach shots this round. I mean, understandably so. There's just so many trees on this course. Yeah. And Rebecca, that's just a little bit sawed off. That was gonna be pretty good, though. Yeah, it was gonna be a great shot, but there's just a lot of trees on that left side, so you have to be careful of releasing it too early. Here's Hailey for 3. She'll be tapping in for a pretty easy par. Here's Rebecca for birdie. Yeah. And that will move her to 8 big. Kristin making birdie as well, moving her to 3 big. Hailey tapping in par, and then we got Sarah tapping in par as well, staying at 3 under par. Hole 18, this is a par 3, 345 feet, 105 meters. This is another dead straight, slightly downhill hole. You really just want to play this right side because it is more open. As you can see, you have this tree and this bush on the left side that come into play. So as long as you get something to flip up and carry straight on that right side with a left finish, you should have a look. Yeah, this hole averaged 3.27, the 10th most difficult. Again, kind of surprising, being it's a pretty open hole, but yeah. Kristin's going to have a long look for her too. Here we got Rebecca. Yeah, fortunate kick there. That was going way right and
kicks out the left side of the fairway.
Yeah, she'll be laying up for 3.
Let's see if Sarah can lace one down there again.
Yeah, and the thing with Sarah's line here is she's got to get it low enough to where it gets either, or high enough, really, to where it gets underneath or above those trees on the left side. But she just saws that one off, and she's just going to be laying up for 3 there. And that's not a bad thing for her. She's got 6 strokes on Kristin.
Yeah, and that
was
in
second place.
That was one of her worst drives, and she has still like a super easy par save.
Mm-hmm.
And Hailey's just barely off with her angles, just so close to being really, really good this round. And she's still in the fairway.
Yeah,
she'll have a putt at it.
That's in Hailey range.
Yeah.
And Rebecca lays up for her 3. She'll be tapping in there. Here is Sarah. She might be running this one.
Is she running it?
I mean, it looks like it.
It looks like a pretty good run there.
Just a little bit too low. She'll be tapping in for the par there. And Hailey.
Do it. Off the band.
Just off the top of the basket. And she'll be tapping in for par as well.
And it's pretty windy on this hole, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was a good flag hit for Kristin that could have skipped straight off the basket and went 30 or 40 feet behind there. That's kind of why I like those flags.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
you can judge the wind off of them, and then you have a little protection if you go a little bit high.
I mean, if you're an accurate putter, you can at least hit the flag and drop down like 3 feet from the basket. But if you're an inaccurate putter, you are going to be 50 feet behind the basket.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I tend to miss left, right, high. Everywhere.
Right. All right. Well, that is going to conclude the 3rd round of the 2019 Green Mountain Championships. So far, we got Sarah Hokm leading the pack, still playing some super solid golf, sitting at 3 under par. We've got Kristin Tattar sitting at 3 big, Rebecca Cox at 8 big, and then we got Hailey King at 9 big. So Kristin is just kind of pulling ahead of this second place battle that was going on between her and Hailey King. Hailey King just not really being able to get off the tee here on this 3rd round, and so hopefully we can see her pull it together here on this final round.
Yeah, if you guys want some of those awesome GK Pro stamp discs, just head to gkprodisc.com. Make sure you like and subscribe on this video. You can check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and we'll see you guys for the final round.